chunks of EZ, and we have then for the high seas another reconstruction for catches that come from the regional fisheries management organization, especially the tuna fishery. So the status is, as I mentioned, 200 reconstruction. They're all published either as working papers or as a Fisheries Center report, or 1/3 going to 1/2 of them are now in the primary literature. They have been externally reviewed. They are real. And the update, the team, the Sea Round Stream, is working on an update which will be finished in a month or two to 2015. We have the catch, these catches are expressed by 2,500 taxa, and the catches per sectors and stuff. And all of this is available on our website. And it's also available by cell, by half-degree cell, using, it has been split, distributed by half-degree cell to the entire world. For example, the small-scale fisheries catches have been distributed along a coastal strip that we call the inshore fishing area, that is 200 meters down to 200 meter depth, or 50 kilometers from the coast. Because small-scale fisheries don't, by definition, go very far. And they are distributed using the distribution of the fish that are exploited and a database of access agreement. Can this country, foreign country, that reports having caught this coastal fish have caught it in a country where it was legally entitled to? And that is a monster database of access agreement. They can be legal access agreement, they are deposited in a UN, they can be observed agreement, and they can be known illegal access. And that in a database is all specified. The spatial allocation then is done by layers. One layer for domestic fisheries that are done within the EZ, one layer for one layer for foreign fishing and one layer for tuna fishing, and that is reported to IFM. And basically there is a whole procedure that I will not elaborate on, and it generates maps which you can download from our website. So I'm going to, that is the Zella. Okay, so our website was updated by our donor. The last donor we have is, and it may be the very last indeed, the Paul Allen Family Foundation, the co-founder of Microsoft, and we had a 3-year grant, and this grant included the production by their own people at a firm called Vulcan that belongs to Paul Allen, or the preparation of a website that is like a hose that permits the downloading of huge quantity of data. And so our data can be downloaded by EZ, by LME, by FMO area, by high seas globally, by FO area, by fishing country, and they are constantly improved, because when you see a map like this, for example, you see the limit of FO area, and this doesn't happen on the ground. This is the statistic. This is an error, essentially. So the more we improve the internal consistency, the better these maps get. So you can get from interactive graph by country. And here you can have a fishing country by another area, by LME and so on. Here you can have tonnage, or you can have dollars, $2005 for the whole world, because we have price. We have worked with Rashid, and we can have 20 or so different things. The color can even be changed, and we can download the data, which may include thousands of species. We show in 20, and that is the world catch that you get from us. And the interactive mapper here, they change over time. You can see the expansion of fisheries in time and space from 1950. So to show you what a reconstruction can do and be, I'll show you an example from Bahamas. This was done by Dirk working with, this was done by Nicola Smith, a student at SFU, a PhD student who comes from the Bahamas. And the Bahamas reports this catch to the FAO. And Nicola went to the owner of resorts and asked them where to get the fish that you serve to these millions, actually, of tourists that you get in Bahamas. And they get them directly from the fishers. So by asking directly the industry where they get the fish, she got an immense quantity of fish. The large-scale fisheries is essentially lobsters and what else, conchs, and essentially the export product. And the rest, that is the sport fishing and the subsistence fishing and so on. And that is the introduction of the first bag limit in Bahamas. Now, in Bahamas, they will send it to FAO. They have agreed to send it to FAO. This is the first country where they have accepted that that the catch is really like this. And this was done in the context of a film that was going to be released at the Smithsonian Channel on Earth Day in April 22nd in Washington. It's going to be a film about the reconstruction where I go from place to place, in Senegal, Honduras, and Bahamas and stuff, and I inquire about what people. The real reconstruction is me sitting in my office. I'm sending emails. I'm begging people to deliver. Please, after 5 years, it's time to deliver what you promised. But herding cats, that's a case in point. But for a film, you do it differently. So I come from the airport and this will be a point where, because Nicola is very articulate and she will be able to say, and her director of fisheries has spoken on the camera that they will use. Then we have done all of these island entities, including Easter Island, with the Moas and stuff. And we have done all these things, and all of them are independent of each other. It's not a number that, a series of numbers that are applied to all of these things. Each of the reconstruction is done preferably with people from the countries, but they're always independent. And this is the result, 2.5 times as much as reported to FAO. There is an enormous amount of subsistence fishing, especially by women. That we know from various previous literature. A woman called Chapman, I forget the first name, had already demonstrated that women in the South Pacific catch enormous quantities of fish that is not counting the tuna. The tuna overwhelm everything. But in the South Pacific, subsistence fisheries are enormous. They contributed mainly by women, and they never reported. At least there is only one country that reported, Vanuatu. Sorry, Solomon Island. The others don't report subsistence fisheries because they're invisible to them. They're invisible to them because fisheries are not women picking things on the reef. And because of this blindness, they underreport and give a wrong idea of the food security situation in the country. Developed countries are not immune to this. This is Canada, the Arctic region of Canada. Reports has zero report. In other words, Canada reports nothing being caught in Canada, in Arctic Canada. And in fact, the Inuits caught lots of things for char, for the dog sled team. Then the Royal Canadian Mounted Police killed all the dogs, and there was no more char needed, and this 1,000 tons reflect only home consumption. In Russia reports nothing from East Siberian Kara Sea and Latvia Sea, nothing, and they have about 20,000 tons. Evgeny helped us read the Soviet literature, the old Soviet literature, and the catch was actually much higher, probably 50,000 tons in the old bad time. This is also true for the US, which is astonishing because the US has very good statistics, but they are reported only at state level, and states dump to 3 miles, and therefore they are not reported to a field. This PowerPoint was prepared for presentation in the UK, so we showed them, our UK colleague, which countries fish in UK water. This is perhaps one of the reasons why they wanted to get out of the European Union. Is Dara here? Anyway, one of the students of Rashid did that prior to working with Rashid, and she still needs to publish it properly. And of the landing reported, there is a big part that's not reported. Why? Why? Because every boat of 10 meters and less doesn't exist in Britain. They have statistics on them, but they are not reported. So we put all of this together in a paper whose title actually summarized the whole thing. The catch are higher than reported, but they are declining very fast. And this was both controversial to FAO. The results are at level of FAO area to show that. And interestingly, you can see that in the countries where catch, well, there are two groups of areas, essentially. The areas where the catch declines, and these are areas where, usually with good statistics, and then areas where the catch is increasing, continues to increase, and it so happened that it is countries with lousy statistics, made up statistics largely. So the FAO catch, which is always delivered without confidence interval, declines, but you find FAO describing this catch as stagnant or stable. And it is dynamically stable in that the catch that are declining in the countries that have good statistics, and the catch increasing in countries that have lousy statistics compensate more or less each other. But our estimates are that the catch declines. And the confidence interval are built with the Monte Carlo method. And the Monte Carlo method does the following. Basically, it samples the distribution, this wide distribution that we had around each country. They were calibrated using stuff that other authors have done before, as I mentioned, picture, and others. They are sampled. And all of them are sampled, and then the catch that is sampled from the distribution is added up. And then you look at the distribution of this sample catch, and the distribution will be always narrower than the distribution of the component distribution, because obviously not all of them will be underestimated. There will be some estimated, overestimated, some underestimated, if they are independent. And I'll show you they are independent. So some of them will be overestimated, some of them will be underestimated. But overall, the lot will have smaller confidence level than the component boundary. This is known the central limit theorem. I cannot derive it for you. I'm not that good in math, but it is well established. The central limit theorem, if you keep adding things that are uncertain, you end up with a far more certain result, if they are independent. That is a basic component of statistics. And the gray stuff is the confidence level we have, and the line that we show, the outer line, is double that confidence level that we got. But we submitted that in intercommunication, and the reviewer did not believe us, did not believe the central limit theorem, and impose on us the average of our distribution, the average uncertainty. And we got that, the average uncertainty. And I must admit, to cowardice and opportunism, because we said, okay, we go along with it. And now we pay the price for it, because the people who say this work is no good, they use this enormous distribution, which include the FAO area, the FAO catches, to say the work we have done is totally uncertain. You get the point? We were forced to do that by one reviewer and who the editor agreed with. And we agreed with that. And there is another complex. Our donor was mad about, because we had an intrusive donor, about the result being 1 year late, because we were delayed. And we thought, we knew that we would not get a renewal if we drag on with the paper. So we accepted these lower bounds out of opportunism, fear, greed, or whatever. And they now are haunting us, because all the people who don't agree with our stuff are looking at them and saying, oh, this is so uncertain.